Is stress causing you to go blind? Have you ever had an annoying eye twitch that just doesn't seem to go away? Has your vision been blurry, maybe after a stressful week, even if your glasses feel right? Now, we all know stress can cause headaches and high blood pressure, but what if I told you that right now, stress could be changing the structure of your eyes? We're talking about fluid leaking into your retina, your eye pressure spiking, or your brain literally shutting down parts of your vision. So let's go over 5 eye conditions that are commonly linked with stress. Let's focus in. So first, a little quick rundown of the mechanism. Now, when you're highly stressed, your body will dump high levels of cortisol and adrenaline, and your eye is packed with receptors for these hormones. And so when you have these high levels, your eyes can definitely take a beating. The first one we're talking about is the type A disease. This is central serous chorioretinopathy. And the reason why I say type A, usually when we see this in the clinic, it's from a patient that has a type A personality. Very high stress, high strung, high energy, high wired, and they just got a lot going on. For this condition, if you imagine the blood vessels right underneath the retina, this is in the choroid. Now, when you have high levels of cortisol, it activates receptors that weaken the blood vessel walls, and it makes them more permeable, so they leak. So liquid is now leaking out into the retina, and it kind of forms something that looks like a blister on the retina. And of course, this usually happens right around the center of the vision. That's why it's called central serous. And usually when people have this condition, they'll have symptoms of maybe a dark area in their vision. Maybe it's grayed out, the color seems off, vision might be blurry. Also, if they're looking at a straight line, that line might be wavy, or maybe when they're looking at the line, they'll kind of do a bump or a dip in the line, and they'll start to notice this, and then they'll come in saying, hey, my vision's weird. Now, luckily, this is unilateral, usually just happens in one eye, and also luckily, it can resolve on its own. If it is chronic and happens to last for a while, there are procedures that can be performed to make the fluid go away. And also a little bit interesting is more recent research. This condition has been linked to an increase in H. pylori gut bacteria. And so a lot of times when you have this, if you treat the stomach infection, it can make your eye heal faster. So if you have this, you might want to check your gut. Number 2 is high eye pressure, which can contribute to glaucoma. Now, glaucoma is the silent thief of sight, meaning a lot of times you're going blind and you don't even know it. Now, when you have high levels of stress or acute stress levels, this can activate the sympathetic nervous system, which can dilate your pupils, which can crowd the drainage angle inside of the eye, which can cause your eye pressure to spike up. Now, on the flip side, that's something a little bit interesting. A while back ago, there was a study about glaucoma, eye pressure, and meditation. They had a group of people do mindfulness meditation for 21 days, and they found that their eye pressure dropped significantly. Not only that, but they had a genetic analysis show that they had an upregulation of the gene NOS1, which can protect the optic nerve, and at the same time, they had a downregulation of genes that caused inflammation. So bottom line here, if you are stressed, you can use meditation to heal your eyes. Number 3 is that dreaded eye twitch. This is a little flutter that happens in your eye muscle, causes your vision to jitter, can happen for weeks and drive people crazy. Now, usually what's going around the internet is people say, hey, take magnesium, you're just low on magnesium, which can be the case, but for a large portion of people, their magnesium is normal, and it might just be an uptick in stress, caffeine, lack of sleep. So if you can reduce your caffeine, get some sleep, maybe reduce your screen time, that's usually the best thing you can do to try and calm that eye twitch down. Number 4 is dry eye, but not the simple type of dry eye that you might be thinking of. Have you ever had a burning dry eye and you put an artificial tear in and you go, hey, that didn't really do anything? Well, it's possible that it could be neuropathic pain. Chronic anxiety and stress can sensitize the nerves that are on the front of the eye, the front of the cornea, to the point where when it senses even something normal, maybe wind hitting the surface of the eye, it interprets it as pain. So this really boils down to a hardware nerve issue that is caused by stress. And this can be really difficult to manage as a doctor and a patient because we are dealing with nerves and the behavior of nerves here. And a lot of times this condition can require specialized care. Number 5, tunnel vision or Streff syndrome. Now this is probably the scariest one of all. This is where you have extreme levels of anxiety or stress, especially in kids if they're struggling at school or at home. In order to survive, the brain will shut down parts of the vision, usually the peripheral vision, just to be able to focus on what is in front of them. And what can make it tricky is the eyeballs themselves are physically healthy. They look fine, even in someone that might have no prescription, no nearsightedness, no farsightedness, and they still have this tunnel vision. We might do a visual field test and notice, hey, we got a restriction here. Might even do imaging, brain imaging, and find that that's normal. And this is all from stress, anxiety, where the brain is so overwhelmed, it shuts down. Now here are 3 maybe biohacks that might reduce your eye stress. Number 1 is a breathing technique. It's called a 365 breathing technique. And this stimulates the vagus nerve. This is where you breathe in for 5 seconds and then hold for 1 second, and then breathe out for 5 seconds and hold for a second. And you repeat this for 5 minutes. And this has been shown to lower your eye pressure and cortisol levels. The second one is the cold splash. If you might have one of these eyelid twitches, you can splash cold water on your face, and this will stimulate what's called the mammalian dive reflex. This can instantly lower your heart rate and it resets your nervous system. Number 3 is more specifically for your eyes, and you can get a low plus lens. Now, if you are having a lot of stress and strain, maybe looking at screens, a lot of times you can go to your eye doctor and maybe get a low plus prescription when looking at your computer or reading. And all this does, it is reducing the amount your eyes have to focus and look and strain. And so what it's telling your brain is saying, hey, it's okay to relax, calm down, I've got this, I'm helping you out. And a lot of times that alone can reduce stress along with eye strain. So you may have heard the eyes are the window to your soul, but it also could be the window to your stress. And so if you have any of these signs or symptoms, definitely pay attention to them, listen to them, check in with your eye doctor, see if you can find ways to reduce the stress on your eyes and overall health. Hopefully this helped. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. In the meantime, you can check out these videos about glaucoma, eyelid twitch to learn more of what we talked about in this video. Stay focused.